Alright, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to another episode. I'm your host, TedTokez. Today we got some World of Tanks, console edition. As you can see, like normal, we kind of pulled up to some part of this front line. We happen to approach the bridge area this time on this map. Looks like we have one teammate here on the bridge. Couple enemies or more over there on the C6 corner. So we pushed across this bridge trying to take this enemy home turf. I'm thinking if I can get this tank pushed back or defeated, I can get through this tank and push back a lot of the overwatch that may be happening in this northwestern enemy territory. As you can see, I'm getting tore up pretty good. They're managing to work me. I do have 2,150 deflection so far, 3,000 damage, but without that heavy from the bridge that I pushed forward past, without the actual support of that tank, I was taking on a lot of the enemy opposition. And they managed to get me is really all that happened. But I held these tanks in place long enough for this entire group right here in D3 to corner this bend. And because that one heavy is still there, they're going to get sandwiched. Maybe they would have still got sandwiched. Maybe they would have beaten me and that heavy if that heavy would have crossed the bridge. We don't know that. We didn't get to see that, right? And it could happen differently in many occasions. Alright, and then for the next one, this next example here, another Leopard 2A5 go at it. I'm going to fast forward this beginning because I didn't pick up the controller until a moment late. And then, don't worry though, thanks to the community, I was still able to get up to the front line pretty much first. And, trying to make it back to this little tucky. Nope, climbing the hill. It looks like I pushed the enemies pretty fierce this time. I'm clearly not giving a crap about the two heavies on the left that in my mind probably should have been being dealt with because there's legitimately 6 tanks there, and yeah, they're being overwatched, right? They're overwatching for the 2 enemy heavies, but at the same time, if they got through those 2 enemy heavies, they'd have nothing left to overwatch. They'd probably have to decide to cower off because they don't have a sacrifice for them to get free points anymore. We made it to this hillside, right? And they're still above us on this hill, so unless they climb down the hill or go down the cliff of the hill, we're pretty kind of okay here. We're not safe, but we're not in excessive danger. They do still manage to get us, as you can see. That's the perks of the position, you know, when you're actually going to play the game and get in a position that would actually make an impact in the game, or even allow you to be impacted by the game, because let's be honest, the Overwatch doesn't allow that for themselves. You'll see it again in this match, probably. Now, I could also start leaving more of these endings because I've taken the game more serious and I've started chopping out the rewards boards because I'm doing a lot better now that I'm taking the game a little more serious and not just going out there screwing off as much as I do. I still goof off, indeed, but at the same time, I'm actually playing some sort of strategic way, right? It may backfire. I may not get as many points as I try to, you know. A lot of different things could happen. It's not just it's not guaranteed success like these sacrificial players play for normally. You know, I'm actually going out there, giving an attempt, starting to get hit by the Overwatch, and not just this one challenge or two that I was losing the fight to. By the looks of this edit, this was probably part of a session where I wasn't really enjoying playing. I was kind of just there for the content. 107 here. I usually take these a little more serious. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I usually take these 107 tries a little more serious just because It's not the Armadillo or the Leopard 2A5 that I've already thrown to the side as my goof-off tanks. I'm not worried about how bad those tank stats get. And that's why I have like 20,000 matches in each one. Alright, looks like I took that frontline push. Tried to distract some of them without dying as I pushed more into the enemy territory, rotating up to the base. It appears I'm going to try and counter these few tanks here. Hopefully the few teammates that actually are at the base will participate, more than just showing up to where they could have been a participant. As you can see the heavy pushing in there. Probably taking on that medium, if not the other medium, maybe getting angled by the southern mediums of it. I see a pretty secluded heavy over here I can chip away at and hopefully make a big impact to the outcome of the game, because this heavy's barrel and armor are actually quite impactful to the game. So if I can get rid of it, even though it'll take me a moment, a few rotations, if I can get rid of this tank, it's definitely going to change the outcome of the game. Because this tank will no longer be that tank right there. Boom. Good job, teammates. Way to participate. That's what you two were up here. You three were up here doing. That's embarrassing. I'm sorry. You know, that's just how I feel about it, though. Looks like they were winning that base territory, so we can head back towards that and help out with them, or take on that heavy versus medium that the heavy was already winning. So it's a good thing we traversed straight to this way, because we would have kind of taken a detour and then been out of the battle again. But as of right now, we're pulling up to the battle, and we're still able to actually participate in creating the outcome of the game as far as how positive of an outcome we get. Now, as you can see, I don't have tons of damage, right? But throughout this entire game almost so far, my positioning and participation has far set a difference in the outcome compared to their, you know, waiting to participate type of gameplay, you know? Oh, got tracked, and this is where it comes in handy to have a teammate actually playing the game with you. Look at that, how I'll pull behind his armor, and even though the enemy is out of angle, trajectory angles, I'm still able to bridge that gap, still using that tank's armor until we get to the corner. We're going to try and flank it. We notice it's a big 4005, so we try to get away from that barrel as best we can. He ends up, that tank ends up getting our teammate. We manage to get around the barrel without getting smoked, and boom. And that's that one. You know, we got about 2,000 damage, or, you know, about 1,500 damage in the last 30 seconds. Not that good of a score, you know, but that's why damage is not the most important thing. Your ability to make an impact is what's important. The damage is just a bonus point. Here we go in Liberty Falls. We ain't been in Liberty Falls in such a long time, but we ran the FV-107 yet again, and we happened to find ourselves at Liberty Falls. And I tell you what, folks, it has been a long time. I tell you what, I can't remember how long it's been since Ranked was in this game, but that was the last time that I played Liberty Falls. Alright, looks like I'm going for the old gung-ho mode. We push out there straight into that little river waterfall area up here in the 1-2 lines. Got a couple enemies here. Oh, what the heck is this? I gotta start paying attention. I didn't even notice that sucker. Gotta watch the rotations because they're looking for bait shots that light tank's trying to earn them. Oh, I think I remember this one. I die right here. I push in there, and this team still hasn't even reached the point of the front lines that I'm on. Look, we got these two right here, a heavy and a light tank, right? Oh, crashed. Kind of messed up my entrance. I'd have been probably already on the back side of that tank. but I'm not inside the enemy territory to the point where I'm going to just get fired at by all of them who are waiting for a shot. There we go. There we go. A little bit of teamwork. This is what we showed up to see, people. I don't know about you, but I just love seeing the implementation of such skill. Like, even that player may not even understand what he's doing, but making that push while I'm in there fighting on that, past that front line in enemy territory, that player made such an impact for me to just probably not even end up dead at that point. And now we're both alive, still pushing this front line. The only one dead on our team is a destroyer who happened to get himself killed, probably. And if you add, oh, now a few tanks are gone now. Just lost another destroyer and a heavy, but we still have many of the numbers, almost 2-1. Now it is 2-1. And look at that. Free enemy base to capture. I could set up a nice perimeter. Sweet jump, dude. Almost a good landing. Alright, look at that. We might even get this. We don't see any enemies popping up. We got that light tank right there in the 8 line setting up a perimeter, just now finding that destroyer, as well as a medium above them that we wouldn't have seen without them players setting up that perimeter. Here I am getting ready, preparing for this invasion with the, here it comes, boom. Tearing into it, waiting for the reload, trying to stay out of the shot. Boom, got the reload off, and my bullets penetrate enough to finish it off. We're still on the base, capping. No points lost so far. Oh, someone got off the base, so we lost a couple of seconds on the countdown. Losing that player's base cap points. But that's alright, we still cap it in time. We probably could have risked not capping the base to finish the rest of the enemy, but I lose enough matches to where I was going to take that kind of free win for sure. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I appreciate all of you. And hopefully my dog squeaking his toy in the background while I was recording wasn't too annoying for you.